Hello, dear learners. Welcome to Exploring an Understanding of How Research Supports Yoga for Mental Health. Let's set forth on a journey of exploration, gently weaving the threads of research into the fabric of our own knowledge and skills. So, whether you're a therapist, a teacher, or simply a seeker of knowledge, I invite you to embrace these moments with a sense of gentle curiosity and openness. I'm your host, Judy Thompson, and in today's segment we will be exploring the publication, The Role of Sensuous Flow and Sensing the Ground in Movement Skill Experiences, a reflection using the practice of yoga as an example, published September 2023 in the journal Frontiers in Sports and Active Living, authored by Gun-Helene Engelsrud. The study we're examining today takes a phenomenological approach to understanding yoga practice. Phenomenology is a philosophical method that focuses on the lived experiences of individuals, aiming to describe and analyze consciousness and perception without preconceived notions or judgments. In the context of yoga, this approach allows researchers to consider how practitioners experience movement and bodily awareness during their practice. Rather than looking at yoga from an external, objective standpoint, phenomenology seeks to understand it from the inside out, through the subjective experiences of those who practice it. One key concept explored in this study is passive synthesis, a term coined by philosopher Edmund Husserl. Passive synthesis refers to the unconscious processes that shape our perceptions and experiences. In yoga, this might manifest as the way a practitioner's body naturally adapts to a pose without conscious effort, or how the mind gradually settles into a meditative state. Another important concept is bodily resonance. This idea suggests that our bodies are constantly in a state of subtle responsiveness to our environment and internal states. In yoga practice, bodily resonance might be experienced as the way a pose feels different from day to day, or how the breath naturally synchronizes with movement. The study also explores the concept of letting be, which is particularly relevant to yoga practice. This idea involves a state of non-judgmental awareness and acceptance of one's current experience. In yoga, letting be might manifest as allowing sensations to arise and pass without trying to change them, or accepting limitations in flexibility or strength without frustration. By examining yoga through these phenomenological lenses, the study aims to provide a richer, more nuanced understanding of the practice beyond its physical postures. It seeks to illuminate the subtle, often overlooked aspects of the yoga experience that contribute to its potential benefits for mental and physical well-being. Now let's examine the researchers' personal accounts of yoga experiences, specifically focusing on the final resting pose. This pose, also known as the corpse pose, is traditionally performed at the end of a yoga session. The researcher describes lying flat on their back, eyes closed, in a warm room. The yoga instructor encourages relaxation, emphasizing that this is the reward after a challenging session. The practitioner is instructed to let their body sink into the floor, creating a sense of trust and safety. Interestingly, the researcher notes an initial tension in their shoulders, highlighting the sometimes paradoxical nature of relaxation. As they continue to focus on the experience, they describe a merging of sensations, the floor touching their body and their body touching the floor. This duality gradually dissolves, leading to a profound sense of unity with the floor and the surrounding space. This experience aligns with the phenomenological concept of the lived body, where the boundary between self and environment becomes blurred. The practitioner enters a state of deep relaxation, where breath becomes the primary focus, creating a rhythmic flow of inhalation and exhalation. The researcher's account also touches on the phenomenon of altered time perception. When the instructor's voice eventually breaks through, it seems to come from far away, indicating a shift in the practitioner's state of consciousness. This experience exemplifies what the researcher terms as passive receptivity, contrasting sharply with the more active movements earlier in the yoga session. It creates an opportunity for the practitioner to explore subtle layers of being, accessing what phenomenologists might call the invisible levels of experience. The researcher suggests that during this transformative phase, attention descends to subconscious or unconscious levels. This aligns with Edmund Husserl's concept of passive synthesis, where meaning is created without active conscious effort. In the final resting pose, the body often loses its sense of boundaries with space, becoming one with its circumstances. This state of deep relaxation floods the body with silence, creating a healing moment where sensory intake and bodily awareness play significant roles. It's important to note that while visual processes are diminished in this pose, other senses, particularly touch and proprioception, are heightened. This shift in sensory focus contributes to the unique bodily experiences reported in this pose. These autoethnographic accounts provide valuable insights into the lived experience of yoga practice, particularly in this final pose. They highlight how this practice can create a profound sense of unity between body and environment, potentially contributing to its effectiveness as a tool for mental health and well-being. In our exploration of yoga and its potential benefits for mental health, we now turn to two concepts, passivity and letting be. These ideas play an important role in the yoga experience and offer valuable insights into movement acquisition and bodily awareness. The study we're examining emphasizes the importance of passivity in yoga practice. This doesn't mean inactivity, but rather a state of receptiveness. In yoga, practitioners are encouraged to be open to sensations and experiences without actively trying to control or manipulate them. This passive state allows for a deeper connection with one's body and surroundings. Consider final resting pose, where practitioners lie still on their backs. In this pose, the goal is not to force relaxation, but to allow it to happen naturally. By embracing passivity, yoga practitioners can tap into passive synthesis, the unconscious processing of sensory information that occurs beneath our active awareness. Closely related to passivity is the concept of letting be, introduced by philosopher Kim McLaren. In the context of yoga, letting be involves accepting one's body and experiences as they are, without judgment or attempts to change them. This approach can be challenging, especially in a culture that often emphasizes control and improvement. However, letting be can lead to profound insights and a deeper understanding of oneself. When we let be in yoga, we create space for self-discovery. We might become aware of tensions we didn't know we were holding, or discover new ways our bodies can move. This process of allowing and observing contributes significantly to bodily awareness and self-knowledge. It's important to note that letting be doesn't mean completely surrendering control. Instead, it's about finding a balance between active engagement and receptive awareness. In yoga, this might manifest as maintaining a challenging pose while simultaneously remaining open to the sensations and experiences that arise. The concepts of passivity and letting be also relate to the idea of embodied learning. By allowing ourselves to experience movement and sensation without preconceived notions or goals, we can learn in a more holistic, integrated way. This type of learning goes beyond intellectual understanding, incorporating bodily knowledge and intuition. These approaches to yoga and movement can have important implications for mental health. By practicing passivity and letting be, we can develop a more accepting relationship with our bodies and minds. This can help reduce stress, anxiety, and negative self-talk, all of which can contribute to mental health. Moreover, these concepts encourage a present moment focus, which is a key aspect of mindfulness. By fully experiencing the here and now without judgment, yoga practitioners can cultivate a sense of peace and groundedness that extends beyond their time on the mat. Now let's consider the importance of sensing the ground and experiencing sensuous flow in yoga practice. These elements all contribute to developing movement skills and bodily awareness. The study highlights how the connection to the ground is fundamental in yoga practice. When practitioners focus on their contact with the floor or mat, they create a foundation for all other movements. This grounding allows for a deeper sense of stability and presence in the body. The researcher describes an experience of standing in a yoga pose, feeling the feet firmly planted on the ground. This connection creates a sensation of roots growing deep into the earth, providing a strong anchor for the rest of the body. As the practitioner reaches upward, there's a feeling of being suspended between the ground and space, creating a dynamic balance. This awareness of the ground also relates to the concept of yield and push patterns in movement. As practitioners yield their weight to the ground, they simultaneously exert force against it, generating an effective counterbalance. This interplay between yielding and pushing is essential for generating movement and maintaining balance in various yoga poses. The study emphasizes that experiencing sensuous flow, as we just discussed, is equally important. Remember that this refers to the continuous stream of bodily sensations and awareness that occur during yoga practice. So integratively, as practitioners move through different poses, they cultivate an attentiveness to the subtle changes in their bodies, the stretch of muscles, the flow of breath, the shift of weight. This sensuous flow contributes significantly to the development of movement skills. By tuning into these bodily sensations, practitioners can refine their movements, make micro-adjustments, and develop a more nuanced understanding of their physical capabilities. The research in this writing expresses that this enhanced body awareness extends beyond the yoga practice. The indication is that it can influence how individuals move and interact with their environment in everyday life. The skills developed through sensing the ground and experiencing sensuous flow in yoga can translate to improved coordination, balance, and body awareness in other activities. Moreover, the study suggests that this deep connection to one's body and the environment fosters a unique form of knowledge. It's a kind of embodied wisdom that isn't easily articulated but is profoundly felt and understood through practice. This bodily knowledge is described as a non-conceptual understanding, similar to how animals intuitively know how to move in their environments. The researcher draws a parallel to how elephants sense danger through ground vibrations during a tsunami, highlighting the power of this intuitive bodily knowledge. The study proposes that by cultivating a strong connection to the ground and developing sensitivity to sensuous flow, yoga practitioners not only improve their physical skills, but also gain a deeper understanding of themselves and their place in the world. This holistic approach to movement and awareness forms a core aspect of the yoga experience, contributing to its potential benefits for both physical and mental well-being. The emphasis on sensing the ground and experiencing sensuous flow in yoga practice may have significant implications for individuals dealing with depression or feelings of disconnection. By encouraging practitioners to tune into their bodily sensations and their connection to the environment, yoga could potentially help foster a greater sense of embodiment and presence. This, in turn, might counteract feelings of numbness or dissociation often associated with depression. The concept of passive synthesis, as explored in the study, also has interesting implications for mental health. This idea suggests that our bodies are constantly processing and integrating information from our environment, even when we're not consciously aware of it. For individuals dealing with trauma or PTSD, yoga practices that encourage this passive awareness could potentially help in processing and integrating difficult experiences in a gentle, non-threatening way. Another important aspect to consider is the intersubjective nature of yoga practice, as highlighted in the study. The idea that we can sense and respond to others through our bodies, even before words are spoken, suggests that yoga classes could provide a supportive environment for those struggling with social anxiety or feelings of isolation. The shared experience of movement and breath could foster a sense of connection and community, which is often crucial for mental health. The study's exploration of letting be in movement acquisition is also relevant to mental health. This approach encourages individuals to trust their bodies and allow movements to unfold naturally rather than forcing or striving. For those dealing with perfectionism or obsessive-compulsive tendencies, this could be a powerful tool for learning to relax control and accept things as they are. Within this research, the emphasis on embodied self-knowledge suggests that yoga could be a valuable complement to traditional talk therapies. By encouraging individuals to tune into their bodily experiences and sensations, yoga might help them gain insights into their emotional states and patterns that may not be accessible through verbal processing alone. While more research is needed to fully understand the mechanisms by which yoga impacts mental health, this phenomenological study provides a rich foundation for understanding the potential benefits. By highlighting the deep connections between bodily awareness, movement experiences, and psychological well-being, this study offers an understanding of how integrating yoga into mental health treatment and prevention strategies can be utilized. In this episode, we've examined how yoga practitioners experience movement and bodily awareness through concepts like passive synthesis, bodily resonance, and letting be. We've considered the importance of sensing the ground and experiencing sensuous flow in yoga, and how these elements contribute to movement skills and bodily awareness. The study's findings highlight the potential of yoga as a practice that fosters deep bodily awareness and self-knowledge. This connection between mind and body, cultivated through yoga, may play an important role in supporting mental health as a powerful resource to help manage stress, anxiety, and other mental health conditions. Thank you to the author and publisher for all of the research within this important study. The role of sensus flow and sensing the ground and movement skill experiences, a reflection using the practice of yoga as an example. For those eager to continue exploring, or for anyone seeking more in-depth information, additional resources and supplementary materials can be accessed within the links provided in the episode description. As we end our time together, remember to embrace and witness the beauty of life and within shared experience. Be the thread that creates compassion and curiosity for others. Thank you for joining me on this journey in learning how research supports yoga and integrative practices for mental health and well-being. May you find and share beauty and peace on your journey toward wellness.